It's been close to a whole year since Chainsaw Man ended, so it really feels like we should be getting some more Chainsaw Man Part 2 news pretty soon. It's really understandable that it still hasn't came out, since Fujimoto likely spent ages making Look Back, but all this waiting really makes me wonder what we're actually gonna get in Part 2. And so far all we know is that it's gonna be in some form of school setting. As well, we know that Hirofumi Yoshida is gonna be coming back in some form, but that's really not much info, so all we can currently do is theorize about what's to come. And theorize about what's to come I have. These are my expectations and predictions for Chainsaw Man Part 2. I'm gonna start off with stuff that's more likely in my opinion, and slowly go further and further down the rabbit hole, until I eventually get to things I'm pretty much just guessing on. Obvious spoiler warning ahead for anyone who hasn't read the manga. So let's get this started with Nayuta. Nayuta is the new control devil, and Denji has to take care of her. We have absolutely no clue what role she will play, but we actually have a hint at a possibility. Fujimoto has an older one-shot titled Yogen no Nayuta, in which Nayuta is a child, which is prophesized to destroy the world. Nayuta in Chainsaw Man honestly could just be a callback, but I really doubt it, especially since the new Nayuta is the control devil. I feel like Denji and Nayuta's relationship will be kind of similar to the one seen in Yogen no Nayuta, and tied into that, I strongly believe that most of Part 2 will be about Denji quote-unquote growing up. He's sort of being forced into a father role, without ever really having a real father of his own. So I think we're gonna see Denji take traits from the late Aki and learn what he needs to be the guardian of Nayuta. But he's also probably gonna learn how to act as his normal teenager self, and he's probably gonna have to balance the two. Which, speaking of balance, he is gonna have to learn to balance school, a social life, and taking care of Nayuta. And honestly, probably even devil hunting. So this part at the start might just be slice of life. I seriously doubt Fujimoto will make it stay peaceful for very long. Everybody knows that Fujimoto has a twisted way of writing his stories, so peace is almost never guaranteed. I'm still not sure if Denji will actually go back to devil hunting in Part 2 though, at least willingly. But next, I think we might learn more about Makima in Part 2. I know, Part 2 is meant to be a completely different story, but I think with Nayuta likely being the main focus of the part, we're gonna need some explanation, especially behind the Control Devil and Makima's past. Hopefully multiple big questions like where the Control Devil sits in the devil hierarchy and others are answered. Currently, I almost feel like Makima had to have been a primal devil. She basically went toe-to-toe with one, and it seems to me that almost everyone would fear loss of control, or on the other side, being controlled. But on top of that, I really hope we learn how devils work as a whole. There are so many questions and the answers to them are kind of vague, mostly about hybrids and primal devils. The main question with that I want to be answered is why the Chainsaw Devil is what it is. I'm not even sure if we'll even learn anything new about the Chainsaw Devil, but I think it could be really interesting, especially since it's so powerful, because the Chainsaw Devil is basically the only form of real death for devils, since that's the only way they can't come back to life. It would make sense to me if it was some sort of primal devil, but maybe a primal fear of devils. But it kind of wouldn't make sense because it's stated no primal devil has ever died. But I don't think that can be true since both Control and Chainsaw Man Devil have some insane levels of power. And of course, the Control Devil has died. It could be possible that the line was referring to them being eaten by the Chainsaw Devil, which would be a real death for a devil. So with devils, it seems to me that Denji is not getting power from devils fearing the Chainsaw Man. Currently in the story, Denji is getting weaker and weaker as less and less people are fearing him. So it could be interesting to see Denji be forced to kill people in order to make people fear him in the long run. In turn, that would make him be able to save more people. But honestly, that's such a stretch and I doubt something like that will really happen. But it would be a really cool moment for Denji to develop. And this might be throwing a dart into the void and just hoping it hits. But I really want to get more information on what the Chainsaw Devil has erased. I know this is likely never gonna happen and my expectations are not too high for this, but these are some of the things he's erased. Tell me you don't want to know more after hearing this. The sixth sense of humans, a star's light that caused children to go insane, and 4 possible conclusions to life other than death. If these are expanded upon, I think this might be one of my favorite parts of Chainsaw Man, but sadly it's not really the type of story to expand on those things. I could see Fujimoto doing a remix and expanding the world in Part 2. And again, I might be shooting into the dark here, but Hirofumi Yoshida could be the one to tell us more about Makima. So far, he's confirmed to be coming back in Part 2. And from what I remember, he was around Makima a lot, because he worked at the Devil Association. So he could be coming back in order to help Denji contain Nayuta, and hopefully they don't let her end up on the same path as Makima. So speaking of returning characters, what about Rize? It's unclear if she's alive or not to me. It seems to me that hybrids are immortal. Initially, I actually thought she was dead, but it seems she's just being controlled by Makima right there at the end of the story. Now that Makima is gone, it could lead to her and Denji reuniting, and maybe they even finally go to school together. Rize could even act as some sort of motherly figure to Nayuta. Although this could be a sad twist, or maybe even funnier. What if she was supposed to go to school and gets put onto the attendance but never shows up? Then we could see how Denji thinks of her and how it affects him. And this very last thing I want, I'm certain we'll get, but not in the way I want. It's probably going to be done in a different way than I want, personally. I want who Kishibe is. I honestly want a whole mini arc on his backstory alone, but any info we get on him will likely just be put into the dialogue, instead of a full-on arc about his backstory. I want to see what he does with the Devil Hunting Commission now that the leader is gone, and what motivates him. I'm certain he'll play a big role, but what that role exactly is, I'm not sure of. Actually, I just have absolutely no clue. I'm really hoping we get more part 2 info soon, because waiting for the anime info has been taking ages. And while I love the look back, it just wasn't Chainsaw Man, and it gets me more and more in the mood for Fujimoto. I'm really lucky to be living in the same era as him, and I hope he goes on to create more and more amazing things. I hope you all have a good day. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Sorry this video was a week late, I got really lazy. My Discord should be done. If you want to join that, go check out the description. If you want to follow me on Twitch, that should also be in the description. I might be streaming soon. See ya.